Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Time Smart Teaching with me, Jane Bell, the author of the workload management book for teachers, Time Smart Teaching. And today I want to ask the question to everybody, okay? Is this new approach to remote learning and webinar delivery of teaching, is it a curse or is it a blessing? Or is it a combination of both? And so I've been thinking about this issue a lot last week. I've been listening to some interesting podcasts on ed-tech. I'll put the link for that below if anyone wants to listen to that podcast. It's brilliant. Anyone interested in technology and how it can be used effectively within schools and learning should check that out. And I've been thinking really about, are we seeing a golden opportunity here for flexible working for teachers? Okay. Or is this remote learning going to become yet another millstone round our neck? And by that, what I mean is, imagine we're going back to school in September and all of a sudden we're being asked from the powers that be to start delivering intervention remotely. Okay, those people didn't come to intervention. Can you deliver it remotely? That person is a school refuser. They've missed 6 weeks of school. So in addition to all the workload issues you've got going on, I want you to deliver an online revision session for them. Because now we've got the connectivity and we've got the infrastructure there. That's my big worry, is that instead of this new delivery of learning becoming kind of like this resource that's going to allow us a little bit more flexibility with our working life and possibly even open up a way of doing some kind of like home-based or part-time teaching, that it's just going to become another thing on our to-do list to do in our ever-expanding list of things that teachers already have to do. And so this is kind of my worry, this is my concern, and it's just something I want people to be super aware of as we move forward, going back to schools reopening. And what are the good things? What are the opportunities that have come out of kind of remote learning? Well, for me, as a self-confessed technophobe, I guess it's kind of forced me to get my act together and to learn to use new technology. So I've had to move my tutoring business, I only have a couple of clients, online. And to be honest, I put that off for a bit, made up some excuses. I'm waiting for my webcam to arrive, which I was, because I really felt quite daunted by it. However, having been forced into that situation and done it, actually quite enjoyed it. But I find that I'm having to do even more planning and preparation for that same half-hour slot than I would normally do if I was just kind of sat there with them one-to-one, because you kind of miss in those social cues and those physical interactions. So I'm having to over-plan. Is that something that you guys are having to do? Are you finding that actually being asked to teach a 1-hour lesson from home to your class is taking you like double or triple the time to prepare that effectively? Is that realistic? Maybe it isn't. And so I've been asked to give my thoughts on kind of this situation on a podcast this week that's coming out next week. And I just think it is really unrealistic for some teachers are being asked to deliver all their lessons remotely every day for their timetable. And I'm just thinking, how is that possible? That is just going to lead to burnout for people. They're not all going to have access to the school VLE. A lot of the lessons that they designed are not going to transfer well online, especially if it's group work or it's model making, for example. That's difficult. So I'm worried that there's kind of like a bit of a burnout culture kind of like slowly manifesting its way through the teaching profession. But if not, if you're liking it, please let me know, put some comments in. So we've got some challenges and we've got some opportunities to do with remote learning. And I think we just have to be mindful that we are using it in the right way. And also, if we feel like it's becoming a burden, just kind of linking to my session that I did last time on learning to say no, being okay to say, no, I'm not sure I can do that. No, that's going to increase my workload substantially, and it's going to affect X, Y, and Z or this deadline. I do think, effective teachers do use technology really, really well. And it is something that I do have to work on. I'm a bit of a PowerPoint and a worksheet kind of lover, I'll be honest. And I am having to be dragged kind of kicking and screaming kind of into this new exciting era of remote working. I'll be honest with you. I kind of like to keep things simple, just because that's my way of working and then that's what's worked well for me. But I do have to move with the times. I do have to kind of like push myself to do that kind of a thing. So yeah, that's my thoughts for today. Remote working, is it a curse? Is it a blessing? How can we make it more of a blessing and less of a curse? And I want to leave you with this thought. Do you think your students are learning better, just as well, or worse using remote delivery of your teaching in comparison to a classroom? Because I've just listened to something on a podcast, and there was a guy, a well-respected guy in education, saying that, like the facts are in, actually, students learn better online. Well, first of all, I would say I'm not sure whether I agree with that statement. Let's be honest, most people at this time, they've got a TA sat with them, haven't they, helping them out, aka mum, dad, auntie or grandparent. They've got that one-on-one individual TA help, which of course is going to enhance their ability to do their work remotely at home. But it's not a fair comparison, is it? You can't compare like for like. So I think let's just all be super cautious that this is not going to become kind of like another rope to hang us with when we get back to school in September, or whenever we actually decide, or the politicians decide to reopen schools, which is like a whole nother debate for another time. Like, how can we possibly practice social distancing in schools? So maybe that will be the theme of my next YouTube channel series. So until then, hope you're all, putting some kind of boundaries around your school work, even though you're at home and you're not, working all the hours God sent just because we have this remote learning going on. Please, please, please do put everything into perspective. Okay, it's temporary. It will pass. We're all going to have to catch everyone up at some point. Don't kill yourselves over it. And I will see you next week or next time. Bye for now.